Alright, everyone. G'day. I'm Electron. No one really knows me. It's not important. But my name is Electron. My gamer tag. It's not really important. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the Halo Infinite trailers. So, there was a bit of a problem. I don't know about you guys, but when I started to watch it, I was super pumped. Halo, man. I've been waiting 5 years for this. I want to see Halo. I was so pumped when it all started. But then some things hit me. First of all, the sprint. That got me pretty bummed out. I was really hoping there'd be no sprint. But maybe it's an open world. Maybe it's needed. I don't know. I'm going to try and remain optimistic about it. But the graphics in that trailer did not put Xbox on the right front footing. They looked off. It didn't look next gen because it wasn't. Now, developers, if I'm blessed with your presence in listening to this video, I don't want you to get discouraged. What I'm talking to you about is a very small thing that's fixable. Alright? In fact, I'm guessing in your department, a lot of you are already fixing it. If not, it's already fixed. So just to point out some great things that I love it, so you don't get discouraged. Alright? The simple shapes, that's absolutely beautiful. The color palette, I love it. Alright? Silent cartographer level, basically, here. Alright? The general look, absolutely fantastic with the bright colors. Hopefully, when we go underground, that it'll get a lot more darker, but with the flash of colors, just like CE, absolutely love it. Fingers crossed that happens. The models, all the models are fantastic. You're going back to the classic models. Thank goodness. Throw those old models in the bin. I don't ever want to see that old Halo 4 and 5 Elite. Get rid of it, throw it in the trash, burn it, and then shoot into space. The actual gameplay looks fantastic. I love it how we're fighting the Covenant now. I mean, the Banished, but you know, the Covenant, basically enemies, and not really Prometheans. The plasma explosions, gas explosions, they all look fantastic. The fire, all of it. The blood, when you shoot enemies, I love it. I love it. In fact, I want more of it. I want Halo CE levels. I want to be able to shoot an enemy body on the ground and for the walls just to be covered in blue and purple. I want that. Seriously, you should add it. That would be great. But enough with that. Let's get into what needs fixing and the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not the best at articulating all this stuff, but hopefully with all these screenshots I'm showing, hopefully it'll get my point across. And you guys will be able to see for yourself what I'm talking about here. Alright, so let's talk about the environment first. It just doesn't look optimized. I mean, we can see this when we're going up the elevator. The clouds in complete view pop in and out. Also, at the beginning of the trailer, we can see that the grass pops in and out as well. Did they not see this? That's not next gen. Now, in front of you, you'll see a lot of photos, screenshots I've taken of the trailer itself. And here, you should be able to notice something. And that is that everything looks kind of plasticky. And there's really two culprits here that I'm really thinking that exist. And I think are easily fixable, if not already fixed in a lot of their later builds. And that is the lack of wear and tear and everything, and the lighting. The lighting's really off. Everything looks washed out. It looks as though when you get a bright light in front of someone's face, and how all of their wrinkles, everything just goes white. That's what it looks like to me. You can see this in the cliffs. You can also see on the gravity lift picture here that the wear and tear is just not there. It looks straight out of Forge in Halo 5 before you add any textures on it. The lighting and wear and tear aspect just looks incomplete, because if we take a look at this photo here, we can see a lot of scratches and wear and tear on this metal just down the side here next to the pilot. And that looks great. The lighting looks great. The wear and tear looks great. So I just think that for this demo trailer, they haven't got to it yet. But then that begs the question, why on earth would they show it? My guess is that it was actually going to be a playable demo at E3. And then when E3 got cancelled, they just stuck to their guns and went, okay, we'll turn it into a trailer. Show them what we were going to show them. But it wasn't a good choice. Scrolling through Reddit, you can see a lot of original photos. And then posted right next to them is Photoshop versions of that original that the community have been doing. And one of these is done by Wag1. And I just want to point out that the Photoshop version, if that is the final product of Halo Infinite, I will be over the moon because that looks absolutely stunning. You can see that there's a lot more wear and tear. Just take a look at the assault rifle itself. There's a lot of scratches. The lighting is so much better on it. It's not a block color. And there's a lot more contrast in the colors itself. We can see the shadowed areas look a lot darker, and the red lights really pop. And I just want to say, that purple blood looks fantastic. 3 for 3, take notes. Alright, now let's take a look at the weapons. Now, I'm not too worried about this because we can see something distinct and clear evidence between the actual two trailers themselves. If we take a look at the campaign trailer, we can see the Mauler, and the Mauler in the campaign trailer looks dog shit. But in the second trailer that they released a bit later, we can see that it actually looks good. It has detail. I mean, I'm sure there's still improvements to be made, but it doesn't look like a single block. I mean, if we have a look at the assault rifle, first time I saw that, it instantly put me off the trailer. That assault rifle should not have been left like that for that trailer. It was distracting me the entire time. And we can clearly see that they're incomplete because if we take a look at this other picture, we can see here the grapple shot. The grapple shot has no scratches, no wear and tear, none of that. But Chief's armor, all of that. So I think they just haven't got to it yet. And same deal with the lighting. They just haven't got to it yet. We can see the Photoshop version looks far superior in the lighting of the assault rifle. Back in that other photo that I showed you. And remember that, I think I heard someone say that this is based off a build like 4 months ago. So a lot of this is probably fixed in-house. Hopefully it's fixed in-house. Alright, now let's take a look at the enemies. Because it feels like I'm playing against toys. Something is off about the colors, and I can't say what it is. I can't articulate what it is. But the devs should know how to make it feel more real. So just some things that I'm going to point out in my non-articulated brain is the skin tone. Now, a lot of what I'm mentioning on the grunt will transfer to the other enemies as well. But I'm just going to point out in each and every enemy. So the grunt here, you can see that the skin itself is a single tone. There's very little variation in color. And I'm not saying like multi-color. I mean like the tones of the same color. The different shades of it. It's all single shaded of that color. And then if you look at the armor, there's some wear and tear. But there's not scratches. It looks like a painted toy. They just need to add some more scratches, add a bit of wear and tear, a bit of dust, bit of dirt, bit of mud, and make the skin tone a little variation. Like, no one has the same color skin all over their body. There's slight variations. You might have a bit of red in some areas, because there's a bit more blood there. You know where I'm saying with this, right? Maybe the claws have them a bit of a different color because they're kind of the same color there as well. This should be stuff that they can fix before release. No worries. I mean, I imagine. I'm no developer. They might be looking at me going, Electron, you're crazy. We can't do that. There's no way. But I reckon they can. Also, again, just the fact that brutes can throw grunts. Amazing. Oh, also, did anyone else not notice that grunts have no pants? Someone pointed that out to me on Reddit the other day. That's crazy. Oh, thank goodness the new elites look like the Halo 2 Anniversary elites. You can clearly tell that that's what they're going after, and the Halo 5 and Halo 4 elites have been shot into space and put on fire before going into space. Obviously, because... Wait, can you? No, you can't. There's no oxygen. That's not the point. My point is that the elites now, their structure looks absolutely fantastic. I love it. They look like elites. Thank goodness. But the armor isn't there. It looks plastic. Again, needs wear and tear. They're aiming for the Halo 2 Anniversary elites. You can clearly see this, so hopefully before release, they get there. But they should not have shown it for the trailer. You can see in this photo here that Master Chief, he has a lot of wear and tear in him, and it looks fantastic. And they just need to do that to the elites. That's all they need to do. Oh, thank goodness. The classic jackals are back. But I just want to point out here that the jackals actually a hybrid of the classic, because Halo CE had a different jackal to Halo 2 and Halo 3. So what 343 have done, and this is absolutely fantastic, and I love it, is that they're using the Halo 2 and Halo 3 jackals for the structure, and then the armor itself, if we take a look at this photo, is Halo CE, how they have that big sort of eye. So I think the eye is kind of like an optical. It's a bit hard, we didn't get great photos of the jackals, but that's what I'm thinking here. And the jackals, again, they have the same issue as the grunts and the elites. They just need more wear and tear on their armor, and it's a bit hard to tell because there's no good photos, but they kind of probably need a little extra shade and maybe a little extra detail on the skin. But again, that's kind of hard to tell. I'm sort of guessing here. I'm zoomed in on these photos, so. Oh boy. Now we have to talk about the brutes. Yeah, there's been a lot of memeing about these guys. Good reason too. Before we jump into any of the bad things and what they need to fix, I just want to point out these are based off the Halo 3 brutes. So we can clearly see that the lack of hair that a lot of people are complaining about is because it's based off Halo 3. The Halo 3 brutes don't have too much hair. They have some, but not a lot. And honestly, the hair very rarely looks good in game. I know some people will say, nah, Letshot, the hair looks great. But I'm gonna disagree. It really didn't. So to a point, the less hair, the better. Alright, now with the armor of the brutes. The main guy looks fantastic. Everything about his armor looks great. But the main brutes you fight, their design looks good, but the execution in the color is bad. Now, some of this will likely be to do with lighting, and I'm guessing that this isn't the final product. That 343 have actually got a better build of the game, and they don't look like this. They don't look plastic anymore. But just on the off chance that they do, guys, we need to fix this plastic looking. Like, the armor, we have two tones. We have the grey and we have the red. It looks bad. They're flat. There's no variation. We need wear and tear like normal. I'm guessing the lighting needs to get improved, because the lighting needs to get improved in everything on this trailer. And when it comes to the red section in this photo, maybe just don't all have it red, you know, or have slightly different colors of red. My suggestion would be make most of it red, and then, like the elites, have trimmings that's like a grey or something like that. Or maybe not grey because the rest of it's grey, but a different red or something along those lines. And now with the biggest issue with the brutes, which is actually something that they're going to have to work a bit more on and probably more difficult to fix, is the actual face of the brute looks whack. Seriously. Who thought that face was good? He needs to get thrown into space. Here in this photo, you can see someone's gone through on Reddit. Unfortunately, I don't know who. But he's made the brute look more brute-like. Because the brute ain't happy. The brute should never be happy. Unless he's just killed someone. Or he's about to kill someone. Every other time, he has a scorned face, he ain't happy, he's angry. Adjust those brows, and that smile, and that nose. Now with the skin color of the brutes, I don't really know how to articulate this. This is probably the worst that I'll be articulating something in this video. With the skin tone of the brutes, it really just needs fixing. At the moment, it's a very bland grey that doesn't change much. Like you'd expect like dark grey and a bit of light grey, there's nothing really happens there. A lot of that might be to do with the lighting, but if we look at the main brute at the end, the big bad guy of the game, he looks bad. He needs more detail. You can see in the photo here that I've thrown up, Damon Carnator made this, and he basically photoshopped the main dude at the end. And he looks far superior in the photoshopped version because there's a little bit of variation. You can also see in the Photoshop version that the micro creases are now vastly improved. He actually looks like he has micro creases, like where the pores are. As well as sunspots, he's added more contrast between the sunspot locations of the moles. and the normal skin area. He's also added a bit more red to some parts of the face, which really just brings this character more to life and makes it look real. As well as the lighting has vastly improved in this. So hopefully, 343, if you're listening to this, please go and fix the main dude. I don't want to spend a whole campaign looking at that dude. I want to be looking at the Photoshop dude, the vastly improved version. So at this point here, it was meant to lead straight into the outro, but I came across Digital Foundry's video, and I just want to let you know that you really have to head over there and check out their video about the lighting in the Halo Infinite trailer. These guys really understand their stuff, and they basically talk about how Halo Infinite is using a different lighting system and how this affects detail in the game itself. The long story short is that they believe that the ray tracing capabilities of the Xbox should bring out more of the character and object detail that is hidden by the lighting. But anyway, go check that out. Back to the outro. Yes, outro. Alright, that's all I wanted to talk about. Thanks for staying in there, those who did. It turned out a bit longer than I thought. I know I wasn't the best at articulating things, but hopefully I got my point across. And 343, if you're listening, I do love the game. I'm a huge fan. And you're in the right direction. Just fix up these last little bits. And yeah, I'd like if you like the video. And I'll be honest, I don't know whether you should subscribe or not, because I don't know if I'm going to do any more videos. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Anyway, enough rambling. I'm out. Goodbye.